Well, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. Today's date is Sunday, February 11th, 2024. It is a Sunday video update. And I'm kind of under the weather this week. I've got some allergy stuff going on. Um, so I just wanted to make that clear before I get to the rest of this hour. And I'm going to try to make it through this hour as best as I can. Dad and Amy, they're actually in the house, but they're sitting out in the kitchen enjoying a cup of coffee and smoking a cigarette. And so they may be coming in shortly. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? No pressure. Um, but I hope you've all been doing well. I've been, other than the sinus stuff, I've been doing okay. Um, it's kind of been a rough week, actually. Um, but I'm doing okay because I'm on the other side of the week and this is a new week, and hopefully this week will be better. Maybe there's some redemption waiting. Um, and again, it's going to be another week of the dogs barking because I don't know why they just bark to hear themselves bark. I don't know why. Uh, but I really don't want to have to deal with that again this week. Constant interruptions from barking dogs. I'm going to try to get through this without actually focusing on that too much because last week was kind of a disaster, waiting for the dogs to just not bark, to just shut up. And mind you, I love dogs. I love dogs. I just don't like dogs barking when I'm in the middle of doing this. So if you hear dogs barking in the background, do what I do, try to tone it out, try not to pay much attention to it. Um, that's Frodo outside. He's always barking at something. I don't know what. Maybe it's the neighbors next door. Maybe it's me talking. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you've all had a wonderful week. Last week was rough. We all woke up to the news of the death of a country legend, Toby Keith, which had taken us all by surprise. It shocked all of us. I think we're all still in a state of shock, collective shock. Um, I thought I was dreaming at first because I usually sleep with the TV on. And the following morning, I thought I heard something about Toby Keith in my sleep, Toby Keith dead or whatever, and then I woke up, and then I saw the video of "Should Have Been a Cowboy," and at the bottom of the screen says, "Remembering Toby Keith." Son of a bitch, really? You know? And he was a young guy, he was only 62. He had, cancer. He had fought cancer for 18 months and succumbed to his battle last Monday at the age of 62. He was born on my birthday, July 8th, so we share a birthday. If you listen to 103.9 The Fox tonight, Dan Richards will have a tribute to Toby Keith. So hopefully you'll be listening to that. If you don't have a link to that station, I will drop it in my chat log, which by the way, I have some chats to read here. But I'm going to put a link to the Sunday flashback on 103.9 The Fox. I'm going to do it for my buddy Dan and for all, for those of you who are interested in listening. His show starts at 7 o'clock tonight and it wraps up at about 11 ish. Listen live to 103.9 The Fox Sunday flashback. Okay. I'm going to drop that into the chat right now. And we have some more messages from someone who has been bringing laughter for the past couple of weeks, someone who goes by the name of Chewing Off My Toenail. Well, hello, Dad. Okay. So Chewing Off My Toenail. This whoever this is, they've been coming in and they haven't been inappropriate. They've just been saying things that would, kind of cheer me up and lighten the mood and lighten the load a little bit from a long week. So this week, Chewing Off My Toenail says, I had to pull off my sock with my teeth and pulled a little too hard because my sock flung across my eyes and couldn't see. Then continues on to say, after being blinded by my own sock, I didn't know that my toenail extended 3 inches off my toe. I guess I need to chew it off now. And last but not least, he says, after I chew off that toenail, I would just have to use it to apply butter across my delicious down home biscuits. Gross, but thank you for the laughs. Um, looks like I do have a red spot on my forehead. Like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest. It's my seasonal allergies and um, just I'm just haven't really been feeling the greatest. But thank you, chewing off my toenail, for the laughs. Kind of gross, but yeah, I think you're just trying to be funny. And that's my dog Luna. Well, Amy's dog. Hi, Luna. Hi, Luna. Hi, baby girl. Hi. Hi. We share a birthday with Toby Keith. Yes, we do. Yeah, we sure do. Um, and Melinda Puyan says hello to Jared and Amy and Wayne. Well, hello, Melinda. Hope you're doing well today. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not watching it because I couldn't give a fuck less about football. But I know many of you may be watching the Super Bowl. Hope you have a great time tonight. There we go. We can shut that off. I hope you all have fun. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I hope you have a joyous time and not worrying about too many other things going on. Um, so there was some drama this past week. A kid I've known since he was in diapers. We called it off, the friendship, as far as I can tell, because um, his old lady thought she'd come on to me, and she was talking to me, I was talking to her, then they split up, and then when they got back together, they both decided to delete me off their Facebook, which I don't give a fuck. Y'all have issues. Y'all have issues. Leave me out of your shit. And to the person that I'm talking about, who I've known since diapers, um, it's your loss, dude. Maybe you should keep a leash on your old lady and tell her to quit coming on to people. But I've known him. He used to be my neighbor, and now he isn't. He lives up in Ludington or Walkerville or somewhere in Northwest Michigan, and he wants to be a whiny little bitch and get all mad at me because of actions that his girlfriend had taken by coming on to me, or fiance, or they say they're married in the eyes of God, which doesn't make it legal. So they're really not married. They're just boyfriend, girlfriend. And they have a child together, which was an irresponsible thing to do because neither one of them care for that child in the way that he should be taken care of. And I don't care who finds out that I said it. It's fucking true. Everybody says it. That was a stupid thing to do, to bring a kid into the world. The man, the father, not even a man, little boy, father doesn't work. The mother, who knows what she does. That kid deserves better parents. And when they would bring that kid down here, no shoes on his feet, no jacket, they just let him. I mean, yeah, in the summertime, you're not going to wear a jacket, but it does get cold at night, kind of chilly at night, and there are mosquitoes out here. Um, why did that kid never have shoes on his feet? I can almost guarantee you that the kid still doesn't have shoes on his feet. And the excuse that they gave was, well, he doesn't like to keep shoes on. Well, then you make him fucking wear the shoes. He's a baby. Are you the parent or is he the parent? Irresponsible people. Two of the most irresponsible people I've ever known in my life. And I don't care if I ever talk to them again. Fuck them both. Yeah. Yeah, they did actually. They got us in trouble with our neighbors. Um, and I don't care. I'm not doing anything for them ever again. They burned that bridge. And see, when she was coming on to me in Messenger, she tried to hurry up and turn it around to make it look like I was the bad guy, make me look guilty. Well, that's not going to work, honey. Yeah, she even tried to say that my brother Jay was coming on to her. And it's like, no, my brother Jay has better taste in women than that, or at least I thought. But no, he didn't. He didn't come on to any woman. Give me a break. He's got a woman. Uh, yeah. So So that friendship is done. I don't give a fuck what happens to him. I don't care if he's sleeping in the streets, honestly. I mean, if you wanna be a bitch and you want to, I mean, there was a time when he said that the baby wasn't even his. He disowned that kid. "Well, that kid ain't even mine," and blah, blah, blah. You coward motherfucker. You coward motherfucker. That is your child. You get mad at the mother and then take it out on the baby? There's something wrong with you, the both of you. You both need help. In fact, maybe that child should be placed in foster care. That would be a better alternative. I mean, just two of the most irresponsible people, and I think that's my biggest discretion about people having kids irresponsibly and not taking care of them. They gotta go and beg and borrow and steal from everybody else. Well, they didn't bring this child into the world, you did. So why don't you step up and be a parent and take care of your children? Why are you sleeping in tents? Why are you sleeping in shelters? Why are you sleeping here, sleeping there? If the man, he was man enough to bring a baby into the world, well, maybe he should be man enough to provide a decent home for your family. Provide shelter, provide adequate shelter for this baby. He's just a toddler yet. But anyway, I'm getting into it too deep, and I really don't want to waste the whole hour talking about dumbass people. But they are out of sight, out of mind. I have no use for them anymore. Um, it's whatever. Stay away. And this phone, Amy, is beeping. You've got all notifications. That's probably them bitching. That's probably they're bitching at Amy. Oh, Super Bowl. Okay, which I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl, as I've pointed out. But yeah, so that's part of the drama for the week. And I've noticed on Facebook there's just a lot of people lately. I'm not going to say everybody because there's a few decent people on there that I talk to, but a lot of them just have just an attitude. Like they just got a stick up their butt. Well, there was a page that I found of a young girl who was battling cancer, and I emailed the mom and I said, "Hey, I'm going on 35 years as a child of cancer survivor, and your daughter's page is inspirational." I ended up getting blocked from the page. Oh, because the mom is a pretentious bitch herself. I mean, what a cowardly thing to do. You don't even know who I am and you're already judging me. Well, that's great because that tells me everything I need to know about you. You don't know me and you're already judging me. Well, that's fine. I wish all the best for your daughter, but as for you, you can fuck off. So that's that. Now that I got that off my chest, and I've been saving it for Sunday. I've been saving that. I've been keeping it bottled up, and it feels good to just release it. Um, but the people on Facebook lately, I don't know what's gotten into everybody. Everybody's just in a moody, bitchy mood. You know, they just, I don't know. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's money issues. Maybe it's family issues. Maybe it could be any number of things. Um, but that's, we're all going through something. I go through things every day in my life, as you can imagine. Um, Yesterday, my sinuses were really giving me shit, and I was dealing with the drama with those two idiots and the bitch who blocked me from a Facebook page. I just said, fuck it. I don't, this day is in the shitter. I'm done. So I had taken some, it's called Geradrill, which is a knockoff of Benadryl, because it's for seasonal allergies. It stops the runny nose and the itchy, watery eyes and all that stuff. And then I ended up falling asleep. I got nice and snug under my heavy blanket and I fell asleep in my room watching TV. And then I had a dream about my mom. And I gave her in the dream, I had given her a hug and I told her I loved her and missed her. And she said she loved and missed me too. And that was and I understand it's just a dream, okay, I understand that, but it's the reassurance that I needed. even if it was just a dream, and even if it was just an optical illusion in my sleep, I could hear mom's voice and see her face, and I just needed that reassurance that everything's gonna be okay. And I think that was the point of that dream, other than I think about my mom daily, and I miss her daily. Um, but yesterday was kind of a rough day, and, today, it's a better day. I mean, we before I went live here on YouTube, I played some music in my collection. I'm getting close to 7,000 songs, by the way. Massive collection. I've been tinkering with my DMX lights and, trying to figure out how to program some DMX lights, and I I'm still trying to figure them out. They're just weird lights. Um, it's like I can program them, with my DMX controller. I can program the tilt and the panning and all that stuff, and that I got that down pat, but they tend to do what they want to do on their own. They have minds of their own. And it's like, I don't want you to do this. What the fuck am I not doing right? And it does get frustrating after a while because the instruction manual, get in here, Luna. Luna, get in here. Get over here. Get over here. Luna, get over here. The instruction manual that came with the lights, they don't really tell you how to use the lights. It just gives you a list of all of the DMX channels and the features. It doesn't really tell you how to operate the lights. So, and there's a lot of misspellings. There's a lot of typing errors, and it makes it really hard to understand. So every once in a while, I'll take them out of the box. I'll unpackage them. I'll kind of tinker with them using my DMX controller. I still have not figured them out. I can't figure out how to do it. Eventually, I'm sure. I'm sure eventually I will. But anyway, I've been, doing things to pass the time and to, you know, stay out of trouble, which I do best. I don't get in trouble. I don't look for trouble. Trouble usually always finds me. But I'm also at a point, and I have been for the longest time, where I just don't take shit from anybody. I don't I'm not gonna passively accept the way people treat me when I'm being nice to them, and they wanna be nasty and rude to me. Well, fuck you. I'm gonna give it right back to you. But I can be better at it, and that's always been my thing. Um, but I am genuinely a nice person, but I also have my limits. It doesn't mean that I should be treated like crap by anybody, and I refuse. Um, but it's whatever, and there are I'm either gonna be nice to you, you're gonna get a good side of me, or if you're gonna try to make me out to be a villain, I'm gonna fucking verbally rip you to shreds, and then I'll be done with you. Um, but as is the case with anybody, I think we all have our limits. Melinda, if you're still in chat, I'm sure you would agree. Um, chewing off my toenail doesn't really interact. Um, they just leave some funny comments and be on their way, and then that's fine. That's fine. Lenses are a little dirty, but okay. What are you doing, Dad? Letting the dog out? Okay. But we got our propane paid. The propane bill's been paid this week. We have to pay property taxes, car insurance. Yeah, we got to pay car insurance, and then by March things should be back to normal in terms of not having all these fucking bills piled up. The propane and the taxes in the same month is what really got us, because we had a cold snap for like a week, and then lately, for like the past week and a half, it's been beautiful outside. It's been really warm. And we had thunder and lightning last week. If that's any inclination of how warm it was like 57 degrees, and we had rain, and we also had thunder and lightning associated with it. Um, I mean, it's Michigan for you, so I mean, you get the best of all worlds, I guess, living here. But yeah, I'm just checking something here on my phone. Um, okay. I thought I heard something here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was distracted by something on my phone. But yeah, everything here, I mean, other than my seasonal allergies, and dad had nosebleeds last week. How is it today? It's good. I'm wondering, well, because I was wondering maybe the air might be too dry in the house. Dad suggested that maybe it could be his high blood pressure. Um, we would have to get an air humidifier if it's the air being too dry in the house. Um, ah, there we go. There we go. That's better. So I don't have that arm so much in the frame of the camera, and that way you can all see dad. Um, I don't know what our plans are for this week other than paying taxes. That's about it. Last week, on Tuesday night, I was out at Billy's Pine Run Inn. I had posted a video or uploaded a video. I guess in terms of YouTube, it would be upload. Um, I went to see a young lady named Leah Williams perform, and she was absolutely beautiful. And she did very well, played all the songs that, she played a couple of cover versions of songs, and she played a song that I really enjoy, my favorite song called Daddy's Little Girl. And she was just amazing. She was absolutely amazing. It was the first time I'd actually seen Leah perform, and she was great. She was great. And on Friday, she was at a bar called Barley and Vine. It's in Flint, and I guess she did really good out there too. So I'm always supportive of talent, whether they be local or like in California or Connecticut or wherever. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you have talent, I'll support you. And so that's what I do. I guess you call me a talent scout, although I'm not being paid for it. But that's okay. I don't do it for that. I do it because I like to show my support for people who have an artistic knack, whether they be musicians, actors, actresses, comedians, magicians, whatever talent or whatever skill you have. I like to highlight and spotlight and showcase these particular individuals. And it's amazing all of the talent that I can find. I mean, especially on Facebook, you don't have to go very far to find talented people on Facebook. I mean, and they're really good magicians and musicians and just actors, actresses. I have connections with people who are like talent agents, and matter of fact, I have a friend who is I want to say she is a like a talent manager, I think maybe is the right word. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but what? No, 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 no. She's actually in the business. Her kids are actors or actresses. Um, and she is a representative of an actress from way back in the day named Kathy Garver. She was Sissy from a TV show called Family Affair, which aired in the 1960s. And believe it or not, I had I had written a comment um, uh, under my friend's on her post. I said, "Kathy Garver, you mean Sissy from Family Affairs?" She says, "Yep." And Kathy Garver actually liked my comment, and I said, "I'm like, no fucking way. How cool is that?" I didn't say that in the comment, but I'm thinking to myself, "No fucking way." Sissy from Family Affair liked a comment of mine on Facebook, which I thought was just brilliant. I thought it was cool. That doesn't happen every day. I'm like, what's Dad? What are you doing? Oh, because I don't even think Dad was aware of that. I'll wait until he comes back out and I'll kind of reiterate the story. But I thought it was just really super cool. Like, when does that ever happen? You know, my mom and dad were kids in the 60s and they grew up watching, like Family Affair and That Girl and, like the Westerns like Gunsmoke and Bonanza and all those old shows. But I just thought it was cool. I just thought it was nifty. It was neat. Um, hey, Dad, something cool happened the other day. Something cool happened the other day. As I was explaining, you walked away because you went to the bathroom. My friend, I think she's a talent manager or um, an agent. Well, she commented something because she represents an actress named Kathy Garver, and you know who Kathy Garver is? Sissy from Family Affair. And because I'm friends with this person, and I commented, I said, Kathy Garver, you mean Sissy from Family Affair? And she says, yep. And Kathy Garver actually liked the comment when I said, no way, my parents grew up watching Family Affair. And Kathy Garver liked my comment. It's like, no shit. This doesn't happen every day. Like Kathy Garver, And I know I shouldn't get a swollen head. But it's not every day. I mean, it's Sissy from Family Affair, the TV show Family Affair. Buffy, Jody, Sissy, Uncle Bill, and Mr. French. Sebastian Cabot was Mr. French. Kathy Garver was Sissy, and Anissa Jones was who was a girl? Buffy or Jody? Buffy was the boy. I think. See, I'm getting it mixed up because Buffy, because Jody is. I got to look this shit up. See, this is why I love Google, because I'm going to get it all mixed up, guys. All mixed up. Okay, so let's take a look. It first aired on September 12th, 1966. And the final episode date was March 4th, 1971. So we're going to get this right because I'm looking at the IMDb page. So Brian Keith was Uncle Bill. Kathy Garver was Sissy. Anissa Jones was Buffy. Johnny Whitaker was Jody. And Sebastian Cabot was Mr. French. Heather Angel was Miss Faversham. I'm probably not even pronouncing it correctly. But I always get Buffy and Jody. Jody is the boy and Buffy is the girl. And of course, Anissa Jones died from a drug overdose back in 1976. She was born March 11th, 1958. So she'd be 66 if she were still alive. Died from a drug overdose in 1976. Let's see. Sebastian Cabot, he was born in 1918, July 6, 1918, and he died on August 22nd, 1977. So right around the time Elvis Presley died. Yeah, like about 6 days after Elvis died. Yep. He was born July 6th, 1918, and died on August 22nd, 1977. Yep. Uncle Bill, actor named Brian Keith, he was born on November 14th, 1921, died June 24th, 1997. I can actually remember when I remember hearing the news back in 97 when Brian Keith passed away. I used to keep up on that stuff all the time. And of course, Kathy Garver's still with us. Um, she was born on December 13th, but doesn't give a year she was born. I could probably look that up somewhere else. But Kathy Garver, we actually had a brief kind of a communication on Facebook through a mutual friend, and I thought, wow, this is great. But see, I'm not better than anybody. I just to make that known, I'm not better than anybody because I have connections with famous people or people who know famous people. Um, I am not better than anybody. You know, I, I'm just as human as anybody else. So she was born in 1945. She's 78 years old. Okay, cool. But anyway, yeah. So there's a bit of information for you. Yeah, Kathy Garver. I mean that doesn't happen every day. And I know that you and mom grew up watching all those shows. Yeah, Jodie's still alive. Johnny Whitaker is still around, but Buffy Anissa Jones died from a drug overdose in 1976. So if she's your age, she would have been 18, I think, in 1976. She would have been turning 18. Yep. Yep. I just did the mental math. Yeah. But anyway, that's probably like one of my highlights. It's like, wow, Kathy Garver. Because I knew the name Kathy Garver. I remember looking that information up. It was just I think Kathy Garver has an official website. And I was interested in getting an autograph from her, which I think you got to pay for, which is fine. I'll pay for an autograph. It's not a big deal. Um, but I was interested just to see who was all still alive from the cast of Family Affair because it's a show that you and mom always used to watch when you were kids. Yeah, Buffy. Yeah, and we've seen Johnny Whitaker on westerns. I think it wasn't it Gunsmoke? Yeah. Yep, Johnny Whitaker, who played the role of Jody, was on a lot of westerns. I think it was Gunsmoke where we seen him because he had the red curly hair, and yeah, yep, it's just nifty. It doesn't happen every day, you know. I mean, it's like cool. That'd be something to tell Uncle Danny. Uncle Danny and Annie Lane would definitely remember that show from back in the day. Uh, Kathy Garver, even when she played the role of Sissy back in the day, I mean, she was a beautiful young lady even back then. Um, and she's a beautiful lady now. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because we had that brief interaction, but she's actually a beautiful lady. Um, she ages well. She don't look a day over 30. But maybe I'm being a bit too conservative, but I mean, she aged beautifully like Wayne Newton. He aged gracefully. Betty White, she never really changed in her looks when she got older. Um, um, Carol Burnett, another one. She's up there in age. She's about 90 years old now. Um, all these famous people, like Bob Barker and Dick Clark, they all aged gracefully. Yep, he passed away last year. Um, no, Dick Clark died. Dick Clark died years ago. He died. Yep, New Year's Eve and American Bandstand, of course. I tried to get Dick Clark's autograph, but I didn't know at the time that he was in such rough shape, or else I wouldn't have sent the letter requesting an autograph. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people that they age gracefully, you know. Elwood and I were actually having that conversation about rich people. Well, why they got all this money, but they get so sick and they die and blah blah blah. Well, I mean, getting sick and aging is just what we do. But and I kind of get where I get the point that Elwood was making because he said, if they got all this money, they should be able to afford the top doctors, the best in the field, which I understand what he was the angle he was going at with that. But money can't save you. No amount of money in the world can ever save you from getting old and death, because death is just a part of living. There's no amount of money in the world that's going to save you from death and aging, and um, there's no amount. That's just the way it is. By the sounds of things, after today's Sunday video update, we might do some grocery shopping to figure out what we're going to have for supper tonight. So, do you want to wait until after I get done with this? I mean, it's only, I'm only going until 4 o'clock. Um, so, what sounds good for supper tonight? I don't know. Anything sounds good when you're hungry. Melinda, are you still in chat? Okay, I don't think she's in chat. She probably got bored and left. That's okay. That's okay. I'm probably I give off those vibes. I bore people to tears. I bore people to sleep, which is, okay, you know. Um, let's see. Hold on a second, folks. Hold on just a second here. Uh, do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay. So, anything sounds good for supper tonight. I don't care what we decide on, as long as it's food. Right? I mean, um yeah, I don't know. Anything sounds good when you're hungry, when you have an appetite and you're just hungry. You just want food. Uh, anyway, okay, we're gonna get off there. So, huh? Garlic bread. Um, do we have spaghetti? I think we do have spaghetti. Spaghetti, the box of spaghetti rods. Spaghetti and garlic bread. If you want spaghetti and garlic bread for supper, if you want, I don't know if they have creamy chicken and biscuits at Frank's. I don't know if they got their shipment yet. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll look. But anyway, guys, we got about 20 minutes left. So what else do we talk about before I wrap up this week's Sunday video? I wasn't sure that I was actually going to go live this week because I wasn't feeling well, and I slept most of the day yesterday. Seasonal allergies are just a pain, and I slept for most of the day. But then today I decided, well, fuck it, we'll do the Sunday video. Although Amy's in the kitchen, Dad has been, peeping in and out periodically, which is fine. I could do this all day. If I had that, if I had that kind of energy, then I could do it all day. But I just wish to not do it all day because I have other things to do. Um, but uh, boy, Valentine's Day is coming up, which I'm single, so for me, it's Singles Awareness Day for me. Uh, I really don't care much about it. Even if I had a girlfriend, or even, if I was in a relationship with someone, I still wouldn't care about Valentine's Day. Uh, so you can impress me with your love and your affection one day out of the whole fucking year. I'm not impressed by that. That kind of love should be shown more frequently and not just on special specific days like Valentine's Day. But that's just my opinion. Uh, I don't have anything against Valentine's Day in particular. I mean, people celebrate their love for each other all the time. I have to see it every fucking day on Facebook. It's like that's kind of the one thing I don't understand about relationships when people bring their relationships to social media. That part I don't understand. You are in love with with an individual. Good for you. Why then does everybody have to know? Why does everybody I think that this has gotta be the most bizarre thing ever. When someone dies, we can't announce it because, "Oh, have some respect for the family," but we all gotta know who you're shacking up with. We all gotta know who you're sleeping with. It's a backwards prophecy. I think if someone dies, I would like to know, especially if it's a family member or a close friend. I would like to know about the death of this person. I would like to attend their services. But as far as you being in love with someone and who you sleep with and who you're building a family with, I couldn't fucking care less about that. That's between you and that other person. It's not important to me who you're sleeping with. But if it's someone that I know, a family member or a close friend who passes away, why don't I have a right to know that? Eventually, it's gonna come out anyway. People are gonna know. So, for me don't share because, have some respect for the family. What the fuck are you talking about respect? What are you talking about respect? When my mom died, I made sure everybody knew right away, right then and there. Everybody knew that mom passed away. Why would I keep what why the secrecy? It just to me doesn't make sense. But I have to read about who you're in love with and let me tell you about this guy and let me tell you about my woman. I don't give a fuck. They're no different or better than anybody else. Who cares? Why should I care? Um Most people would view that as, "Oh, Jared's just bitter because he's single." I'm not bitter. I'm genuinely, legitimately curious as to why you think I should give a fuck about who you're in love with. I don't care. I don't care if you are a man in love with a man, a woman in love with a woman. I don't care. I don't care. Good for you. More power to you. Why do you need my approval? I'm not dating this person, you are. I'm not married to him, you are. Why do you need my approval for? Um, the last girl I was seeing, she wanted to show me off on Facebook, and I told her, I said, "Hell no. If we are in a relationship, the relationship this is our relationship. I don't need to plaster it all over Facebook. If there are issues within my relationship, problems in my relationship, I don't need to plaster it all over social media. That's nobody else's business. This is our relationship. If there are problems between me and you, only we can fix these problems, not the fucking world. Why does everybody have to know who I'm dating? In fact, why does anybody have to know that I'm single? I mean, I just said I'm single because it was just a casual response to Valentine's Day. Um, it doesn't mean I'm looking. And it doesn't mean that I'm particularly bothered by the fact that I'm single, and it doesn't mean that anybody else should be bothered by the fact I'm single. I enjoy being single. It's probably one of the better life investments I've made. I don't I understand what it means to be in love. I've been in love a few times in my life, but I'm just more of a laid back, I just wanna be by myself kind of a guy, you know? I just don't want someone being up my ass 24 hours a day. I specifically and especially do not like women bragging about me. If you're dating me, that's great. I don't want you showing me off. I'm not any better or any different than all these other guys out here that you could have dated or have dated. I'm just as human as the next person. Please don't brag about, "Oh, this is my man. This is what he does for me." I see that shit all the time on Facebook. And the reason I don't say anything about it there is because I can say it here. I mean, so you love okay, so you're in love with somebody. Cool, I don't care. I just keep scrolling, It's like it doesn't affect my life in any way. What do I care? Uh I don't get it. to me, it's just, it's pointless. It's pointless. But I think I try to be respectful of people who wanna post about their relationships and, "Oh, I love this man," and blah, blah, blah. Well, cool. Good for you. And mind you, most of these people are really good friends of mine, so when they hear this, they're gonna think, "Oh, the truth comes out. You really don't like it that I post about my marriage and my relationship." It's not something that I particularly care about that you're in love with each other. I love you both as individuals, but as far as your love life is concerned, I don't care what goes on behind closed doors. It's none of my concern. Um, it's like, do you post for the nosy people? Do you post for the busybodies who have nothing better to do than to stick their noses into your private life? I couldn't be bothered with any of your personal love shit. You know? I don't particularly spit it out, Jerry Bear. I don't particularly like to post details about my love life on social media because I don't have a fucking love life. Ugh, knows it. I'm happily single. I enjoy the company of me, you know, me, myself, and I. That's why I like going for rides in my car, just get in my car and take off. I haven't been able to do that recently because of the financial situation. But on any given day, I mean, yeah, I'll get in my car, I'll take off, I'll get back when I get back. I mean, it's just me. I don't have the responsibility of caring for children, looking after a girlfriend, uh, or a wife. You know, I don't carry that burden of responsibility. You know, I hear people complain about it all the time. Oh, it's so hard being a parent. It's so hard being a spouse. So then why the fuck did you do it? Why did you do it? If you went into this knowing that it was going to be a difficult road, why'd you do it? Why do you need more stress and anxiety added to your life? I prefer a life with less stress and anxiety added to it. Uh, that's all for you guys. That's not for me. No. Um, Now, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, yeah, I would have loved to have had kids of my own and found someone to settle down with and sure, you know, raise some babies and have my own little family because my mom wanted that. She wanted me to find someone and have a family with them, and it just never happened. It never happened, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm gonna be 38 in July. I've never been saddled with that kind of responsibility, caring for children or, you know, busting my ass to make a woman happy. Fuck that. I gotta be more focused on making me happy. And that's what I've been trying to do for the past, I don't know, month, because the last relationship I was in lasted for about, I want to say 15 days. Because the girl that I was in a relationship with, I ended up breaking off the relationship with her on New Year's Day of 2024. So it's like, I just don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And trust me, I had my reasons. I'm not going to badmouth her in any way because I'm sure at some point she is a good person. So I'm not going to come on here and badger her or belittle her. Um, but she does have her issues that she needs to work out. And personally, for me, I just don't need that in my life. I like to live my life stress free and as carefree as possible. As long as I'm not violating anyone, which I don't, I'm good. Uh, some people just they need that continuity in their lives where they have kids because I think people have this attack of consciousness. Well, we know we're not going to live forever, so we need to somehow prolong and continue our existence by bringing children into the world. There's only one of me is plenty in this fucking world. To be honest with you, I like the idea of okay, when I die, that's it. Um, no children. I have my journals. I have my poetry. That'll live on. if anyone's interested in it. But that's probably gonna be my only lasting legacy after I'm dead and gone. There's gonna be my poetry, my journals, my Jared Bear, and my story of how I survived childhood cancer. And speaking of childhood cancer, 3 years ago today, a little WILMS survivor, well, not a survivor, a little WILMS warrior passed away. And I'm I've been talking with the mom and the grandmother, and it was 3 years ago today that he passed away, and my heart goes out to his mom. I know today's gotta be a very difficult day, uh, but she knows that I love her and I care about her, and matter of fact, when I'm done here, I'll probably end up texting her just to check and see how she's taking today. February 11th is not a really good day for her, and I'm gonna just reach out and make sure that she's okay, and tell her that I love her and I'm thinking about her, and I think she knows that, but it's always good to check on people you love and care about, and, and it's how I've always viewed, and maybe my dad can relate to this, I've always viewed, like, me surviving cancer, it's like a war. You know how soldiers, when they get sent off to fight in war, they come back home. I mean, those are soldiers, warriors, people who fought and survived. Not everybody makes it back home. And with childhood cancer, it's kind of the same. Because this is thrust and voluntarily thrust onto us, we don't ask. So, in other words, a diagnosis is like we're being drafted into this war that we didn't ask for. That's how I see it. And we fight the war. Some of us make it home, some of us don't. So I view that in a sense like we're fighting a war. Like, I've been to war with childhood cancer. I made it. I got through it. I survived it. I came home, and 35 years later, I'm telling my story. But then my mom went to war. She didn't make it home, and now I have to live with that. Um, she was there at my side when I fought. I was there at her side when she fought. Um, but when she died, a part of me died with her. So inevitably, I'm never going to get that part of my life back ever again. Um, so this year might be a little different for me in terms of, because I'm not an advocate or an activist. I don't consider myself neither. I'm a survivor. But this year might be a little more because it's the first year without my mom. I've already had the first Thanksgiving, the first Christmas, the first New Year's. There's going to be a first Mother's Day coming up, a first birthday. There's still a lot of firsts to be had, and I'm trying to emotionally prepare myself for those. And I don't think I'll ever be prepared, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to stay preoccupied doing other things. Like I said, I got my DMX lights, I've got my journals, I've got my poetry, I've got my music. I've got things to help keep my mind off of that. But in a sense too, it also comes full circle. My mama was there for me when I had cancer. I was there for her to the end. And most people and this has already happened, believe it or not. Most people are viewing this as, oh, Jared is using the occasion of his mom's death for attention. And that is not the case at all. Whether I post about it on Facebook or if I deal with grief privately in the confines of my bedroom, the grief is going to happen whether I talk about it publicly or not. Every day is an uphill climb. My dad lost his parents, Amy lost her parents, I lost my mama. Doesn't matter how it happened, we lost parents. It hurts. And those firsts are always the hardest. That pain never goes away. You just learn how to deal. You learn how to cope. You learn how to manage. And I understand that I have a first Mother's Day coming up. Mom's birthday isn't until October. She would have been 62. on October 3rd. And, my birthday's coming up. It's going to be our first birthday without mom here to celebrate with me. I'm not going to get a happy birthday card or a phone call from her. I get nothing now. I still have my dad. I'm grateful and thankful for him every day, and I'm glad that I still have my dad that I can talk to. But I know that time's going to run out eventually. I don't want it to, but it's going to. And I'm just trying to make do with that situation. Now, I have a buddy who also lost his mother. She died from COVID a few years back. And we talked last week. We were in Messenger for about 4 hours talking about random shit. And we did talk about our mothers. The conversation, the topic of mothers had come up. And we were kind of feeding off each other. His name's Scott, by the way. We were feeding off each other, and I've known Scott since we were in school together. He's a great kid, love him dearly. And we were talking about, we're not built for this. Like I wasn't built to watch my mother die in front of me. And we had that conversation. I thought he was going to start crying. I almost started crying, but we didn't, because we both understand that pain. And then we went on to talk about science. He likes Neil deGrasse Tyson. I admire Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's an astrophysicist, a fucking genius, in my estimation. We find, or I have found, that we have a lot of things in common. We both like a lot of the same things, and we like beer. That's true. Scott likes beer. I like beer. But we also agree that the Earth isn't flat. And we also agree that the moon landing was not fake. I know there's a lot of people who think that the moon landing was not real, but there's too much that goes into that it would be nearly impossible for that to be fake. There's blueprints of the engineering of those rockets. There's warehouses where those rockets were kept. And as Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out, wouldn't it just be cheaper to fake it? Or wouldn't it just be cheaper to go to the moon than to fake it? Which, good point. Because it cost, because all of these agencies, the government agencies, would have to be lying. They would have to be a part of a huge conspiracy, like the CIA. And the Soviet Union didn't deny the fact that we landed on the moon. They didn't. They knew. They didn't deny it. So there's too much evidence that supports this claim that we landed on the moon, because we actually did. It was not an enactment in a sound studio. We actually landed on the moon, and the moon is, or the Earth is not fucking flat. What's that? What?
People are paying thousands and thousands of dollars to go to the moon to live.
You can't.
But what they don't understand is if this world comes to an end, you're not going to have time to go to the fucking moon and get on that rocket and go to the moon. You're going to die. You'll be dead.
Yeah.
You're not going to have time.
It's like people talking about other planets sustaining life, which it's not possible. You can't live on Mars. You'd vaporize. Other planets don't support human life as Earth does, because we have oxygen, we have water, we have food, nutrients, things that we need for our own survival. There's no way that other planets can support human life. It's not sustainable. You want to go to Mars? Nice knowing you. You're going to fucking vaporize before you even get there. Other planets are not sustainable. And as Dad pointed out, people pay all this money to go to the moon to live. Why? You can't live on the moon.
If the world was coming to an end, you wouldn't have time to get in a rocket or whatever the fuck it is to go to the moon, because you're going to die anyway.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't we start taking better care of this planet and not worry about living on another planet? That would be an easier thing to do, wouldn't it? Now, I'm not suggesting that I have answers, and well, this is how we can go about taking care of the planet. all I'm saying is maybe we should take better care of this one and not worry so much about another planet where we can live. Um, I don't know. That's just my opinion. What time do we have? I can't see.
1 minute.
Oh, it is 4 o'clock already. Oh my God. Well, okay, guys. I guess I will wrap up. I mean, I was just ranting and rambling away. And Dad, any final words before we go? We're gonna head up to Frank's here, right, in a little bit. Okay. Amy did not participate in this week's Sunday video update. I will ream her out after this show ends. I'm kidding. She's out in the kitchen. She's just taking some time to herself. But if she were in here, she would tell you all to peace out and have a good week. As will I. Love y'all very much. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay out of trouble. Take care of each other. And I'll be seeing y'all next week. So take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.